Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Fall 2024 New Jersey Film Festival Filmmaker Interview Series, Q&A series. I've done over 150 of these since the pandemic began, and it's a wonderful thing because I get to talk to all these filmmakers that are all over the world. And today we have a wonderful filmmaker from Poland who's going to talk about her very interesting racy film called The Horse's Tail, correct? Horse's Tail? And Justyna Lukaj?
Łuczaj.
Ukai, oh my God, I
Łuczaj.
mutilated it. Sorry. But
Yeah.
Justyna is a wonderful filmmaker. She's also a painter. And her film, The Horse Tale, is a really, really interesting film that is a reworking of the Oedipus story in modern times. And we now have Jocasta, who's a prostitute, and we have her children and her lovers and this crazy environment that she has created. And it's a really, really very, very original, creative film. And I guess I've already talked to you a little bit about it since we have another interview that's going to come out at New Jersey Stage. But I see you as a painter too, right? You're a painter. Were you a painter first or a filmmaker first?
I always wanted to be a filmmaker since my childhood,
Hmm.
but I'm from a little town, and I I didn't feel confident to go to film school.
Hmm.
So first I decided to study painting,
Hmm.
and later I decided to study also directing,
Hmm.
and so I think both are very important for me, painting and films. I think it's the same for me.
We had a wonderful filmmaker from Ireland last season, Clea Vandergren, and she's a painter and she makes films, and her paintings inform her movies. And I think it's kind of goes back and forth between the two. So I can definitely see your very painterly style, and your paintings are very expressionistic, much like your films are. But please tell us a little bit about why you decided to rework the Oedipus story. Um, I'm curious myself.
Yes, but um, I think the truth is that I can't tell you because it's a secret,
Okay.
and it's it's something hidden very, very deep, and uh, the real reason I can't tell you. But of course, mm, mm, I was always fascinated by Greek mythology,
Hmm.
and after watching the film Damnation by Bellatar,
Right.
uh, I really wanted to make some neo-noir film. And I sculpted my characters for different scripts separately. And after watching the film, I really wanted to make some neo-noir film
Hmm.
by myself, and decided uh, to connect my characters from my different ideas, and to make some dark neo-noir story with some femme fatale and some dark and painful laugh. So I think the idea of making some very dark mood style of film, it was the main idea, and to have femme fatale and the character who is a rapist. It was also interesting for me, and somehow I decided to connect them and to make some how to say
Connections, yeah.
connections and tension, to make a tension. So for me, tension between mother and son, and they are in some erotic relationship.
Mm.
It's a biggest tension.
The actors that you found are not really actors, right? They're non-actors, but they are terrific actors. Tell us a little bit about them.
Oh, it was really a long process. It wasn't easy to find them, and so we made a lot of castings for my main character, and I wasn't satisfied, and it was really long process. And after our last casting, I met him on the street
Hmm.
and decided to work with him, but my producer wasn't sure, so it took me several months to convince him to work with Remik. And also my Jocasta, it was really interesting story because I saw her photograph of her face on Facebook
Hmm.
because some of my friends liked her photo, and I saw her, and I thought that it's my Jocasta, and it was really difficult also to convince her to
Hmm.
be in my film, because she was I gave her my script and she was terrified, and she didn't want for 2 years to say yes. And the funny thing is that I was sure that I met her. So, I don't know when, but I knew her face. And finally, I discovered that like 25 years ago, I I saw a video. My friend made by my friend,
Hmm.
and she was in
In
this
it.
video, and so I decided later. I decided to use the fragments of this old film in my film. Like she's very young there, and like before catastrophe, and we can see her before catastrophe and after
Hmm.
catastrophe in her life.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think she's really interesting face to look at. I think all the characters actually are
And
very interesting. They're almost like sculptures. They're almost
yeah.
like sculpted faces, and I think when I watch this one scene where you have the elderly woman making her way through the forest and you shoot it in long shot. I mean, I think the way that you suck the viewer in, right? You bring the viewer in with these long shots, and then you kind of bring them in and you get very close to the action. Was that something that you wanted to do throughout the film?
I don't know. It was like uh, somehow natural way for me.
Mhm.
It's like you can't invent your style. Your style is in you.
Inside you.
So it was natural. It's for me. It's like my way of seeing things and feeling reality. So it's not so invented.
Right,
Just it happened.
right. But the locations are amazing. Where are these places? They're in the Western part of Poland is
Is east,
east,
south of
southeast.
Poland,
Mm.
and it's the place where I was born,
Hmm.
and it's near the place where I was born, and where I came back after like 15 years living outside in
Hmm.
Krakow, in Łódź, in Warsaw.
Yeah.
And I decided to come back here because I really love those places, and I mm, I decided to write scripts special for those locations,
Hmm.
because they are very important for me, and I really love nature, and I wanted to put my favorite places to this film and make nature also like one of my characters.
Hmm.
And but it was difficult to because I also needed to have some small city,
Hmm.
and I have to I had to m- make some combination of few places,
Right.
because I couldn't find one right
One
place.
place. Gotcha.
Yeah, so like three small cities near my city, Krosno, where I live.
Great. But this is a film that you made as a student? Or is this
It's
a film that
my
you made after you graduated? You went to the Lotz Film School? Is that
yes, but it's my mm, doctoral,
thesis film, your thesis film?
yes, thesis
Yeah.
film,
Yeah,
yes.
but it's amazing. Had you ever done a feature before? This is your first feature?
It's my first feature.
Wow. It looks like you've been making features for decades.
Really?
You're very talented. Yes, I think it's
Thank
really
you.
amazing. So the funding for this film came from the Polish Film Institute, from donors and backers. How long was the whole process from the beginning to the end?
It was a really long process because I started to write my script in, I think, 2011 or 12,
Right,
and it took me about 1 year, 1.5 years to complete my script,
right,
and I started to look for producer, and um, uh, I found my producer in film school. It's a part of film school. It's a film studio Index.
mhm,
And but it's like they don't have money. It's like a company, small company, but we had to find money. So
yeah,
we applied to Polish Film Institute, and it wasn't easy. It was like 6 years to
wow,
get money. And finally we got in 2018
mm,
money, but it was too late to start production. So we started in 2019,
right,
and the process of filming and editing was really long. And
yeah. And you had to
so
deal with COVID too, the COVID
yeah.
pandemic.
So it was difficult.
Many obstacles. I always tell my students that when you want to become a filmmaker, you have to learn how to overcome all the obstacles that will be in front of you. And if you
Yes.
can overcome them, then you'll become a good filmmaker because it's all about persevering and making sure you get to the goal.
Yes, and I think it's also very important to look on the obstacles. Like there are also chances for something new.
Mm,
They open you uh, for new possibilities,
mm,
and so I wrote my thesis about a living process, about using all problems for yourself, to how to solve problems, and how to see new opportunities in them.
Very cool. What has been the response to your film? You've shown it at a number of festivals, and what has been the response from the audience? Have there been some visceral reactions to your film? I mean, I think it's not an easy film to watch in some
Yes.
ways, because it's very challenging. The situations are very bleak and dire, but I think as a woman director, it's really amazing that you're able to go through this territory and share it with an audience. So what has been the feedback that you've got?
I was surprised that my film has had its premiere in Mammoth Lakes Film Festival, and they really liked my film, and it was really really great and surprising, because I thought maybe it's too hard for United States, but I was surprised they really loved my film. And but in Poland, they don't like my film. They hate my film.
Yeah.
It's really painful,
Is there
because
Poland can be very conservative, but it wasn't always like that. I mean, the Lodz Film School has generated so many great filmmakers over the years. Some of the greatest films we've ever gotten. There was one film that was made by a young student who went to your school, and it was just amazing because it was so creative, so original. And yet, in the United States, everything in film school is all about making films that will translate into making money. And they're not
uh,
as a result, they're not very creative. That the independent films are creative, but the ones that are made by the industry are very, you know, blockbuster,
yeah,
formulaic, and they're not very good. So we loved your film. I think there was one or two judges that were not, they also felt that it was a little too strong for them, but
uh,
that's okay. We like challenging films, and I think that's why we were very proud to be able to show yours.
it's very nice to hear it for me, because in Poland they how to say, you said before that you thought that I made more films before,
Hmm.
and in Poland a lot of critics, they have opinion that I'm completely disaster. I don't know anything, and so
That's
of
that's
course there.
that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and of course there are people who likes my film,
Yeah.
but it's not easy. It's not
Yeah.
easy. I will have. I found a distributor,
Oh, great.
and I will. But it's not easy convince cinemas to take my film. It's not easy, so I don't know how it will look, but I will have some distribution. So
That's
maybe,
wonderful. That's
yeah,
what everybody wants. You want to kind of recoup the money that you laid out so that you can make another one and make another one. It's always the same routine. It's very, very challenging. But your film is
yeah,
very original. It's very, very challenging, but you get rewarded if you stay with the film. I think you find its inner beauty because the nature is grotesque and sublime. And I think that's where your film finds a kind of union between those two things. So it's a very natural film. Life is not cute and pretty. Life can be
yeah.
very brutal and difficult. So I thought the way that you took the original Greek story, you modernized it and you gave it all sorts of interesting perspectives that I think advance the original story, and then you create it and make it your own. So you should be very proud.
Thank you very much.
Where did you learn to speak English so well?
No, I don't speak English
Yeah,
well.
you do. You're terrific. I think that's wonderful.
I never learned at school.
Mm,
It's like just I was in United States in 1999,
mm.
and I spent there 1 month with my family, and they don't speak Polish, so I had to
You were the
speak.
translator.
I had to speak to communicate with them. So I don't know. It happens somehow natural. I of
No,
course
it's
I need English. I a lot of um, I watch films, so it's natural. And
yeah.
now my children they speak English great. My son is like native.
Wow.
It's natural because they have English at
At
school.
school.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Well, you're a wonderful filmmaker and a wonderful painter and a really talented lady. So thank you so much. I want to show our audience how they can buy some tickets now because we've been talking about your great film and the image behind me is of Jocasta. So I think, some of the pictures that you've seen behind me are images from Justina's film. And so you absolutely have to come. I'm going to share screen and this way you can see how you can purchase tickets. So here is our home site. Uh-oh, we don't want that one. We want that one. And so normally our website would have had everything at this location, but because of the pandemic, we decided that we would stream our festival because that was the only way we could do it since everything was shut down. So what we ended up doing is we partnered with Eventive, which is a streaming service that used to provide services for distribution companies before the pandemic. And then they became the model for film festivals to show films to their audiences. So we developed a huge audience. We have people from France, from Poland, from Germany, from England, from Japan, from throughout the United States now that are able to watch our films. So we kept the model, but we have now started to also show films in person again. Although I must say the in-person attendance is a slow process of getting back to before COVID because I think our audience is now 40%. I think 40% in person, 60% online, sometimes 10% in person, 80, 90% online. So it's really, really crazy. But so anyways, the way to do it is to click current events, which just bumps you down one screen. And then you hit tickets and info, which will bounce you to our Eventive website. And there's many different parts to the website, and you should always go to the festival site. And that's what we will do. So normally this is our welcome page, and the welcome page has basic information as you scroll down. The festival takes place between September 6th and October 18th. We actually just began the festival and we had a very nice first showing. And then it will take place sporadically through October 18th. The films are all available online. I'd say almost all of them. And it always begins at 12 midnight Eastern USA time. So if you're in Poland and you wanted to see this film, that it's going to be, I think this time difference is 6 or 7 hours ahead of us. So it will really be on the day before, 6 or 7 hours beforehand. You keep going down, there's more information about sponsors and things like that, but you want to go back to the top and you want to click on tickets screenings. And this is where you would actually purchase tickets. So for Justina's film, which is only available online, you would click on this and that'll bounce you to this page and you would be able to pre-order now. You would register if you've never registered for our film festival. It takes about 30 seconds to do. And then you can purchase tickets. And this is basic information. And the film is 75 minutes. It's subtitled in English and it's in Polish. And it's a really great film. You absolutely have to see it. If you want to go back to the festival site, you can also get access to the schedule page. And here it's a kind of linear schedule, like if it was on paper. And as you scroll down, you'll see that Justina's film is playing on September 22nd, all day. So you need to start watching the film on that day, and you have 24 hours to finish it once you start watching. You can also click the film guide, and that gives you information on all the films individually. I like your poster too. It's very spooky. So you click on
Great.
Horsetail, and then you get more information and more pictures to check out. So that's basically how you would buy tickets. I'm going to stop sharing and say thank you to Justina for spending the last almost half hour talking about her great film, and hope you will join us there online on the 22nd of September. Thank you so much, Justina.
Thank you so much. It's really great honor for me that you chose my film, and my film will have screening online on your festival, on your great festival.
Thank you so much. We're very proud to show yours. Have a great day, everybody. Take it easy.
Bye.